I'm with Anna G. White, the Immigration and Refugee Policy Analyst for the Office of Government Relations of the Episcopal Church, and she's in Washington, D.C. Anna, welcome to the Diocese of North Carolina via Please Note.
Thank you so much for having me. It's a pleasure.
Anna is coordinating the Dream Sabbath, which is related to the Dream Act and Episcopal Church and faith community participation in it. And we wanted to talk with her a little bit about that. Anna, tell us about the Dream Sabbath and how it relates to the Dream Act.
Great, yeah. So the Dream Sabbath is actually an event. It's an interfaith event that is trying to get churches to link them to bring up the Dream Act. And I'm going to explain a little bit about the Dream Act first. The Dream Act is a legislation that has been introduced in the last 10 years. It's bipartisan. It has support from Democrats and Republicans in both House and Senate throughout the decade, which will give the opportunity of undocumented youth and children that have come to this country not a fault of their own, but their parents brought them here and have grown their communities, gone to the school. They get to high school and have nothing to look for. They can't go to school. They can't really apply for jobs. And they don't know the country where they came from. This is the country that they know. So this would allow to give them a path to legalization, which would mean that they will have to go to background checks, make sure that they have good moral character, and they will commit themselves for 2 years of either military service or college. It is a good piece of legislation that will really help a lot of undocumented youth in this country. Around 60,000 of them graduate each year from our high school. And this will benefit communities as a whole because there is a lot of really bright people there that could be the professional entrepreneurs of the future. So I think it's also an investment in the future. So that's the Dream Act. What we're doing with the Dream Sabbath, which is an interfaith event organized by the Interfaith Immigration Coalition and the Episcopal Church, will look to bring congregations and churches to talk and start a dialogue around the Dream Act. And it is a great effort. We hope many of our churches in the Episcopal Church will join. At the same time, I want to make sure people know that the Episcopal Church supports the Dream Act. There was a resolution in 2009 by the General Convention. B006 is the number if you want to look for it, which actually sustains the same principles in the Dream Act legislation, trying to give an opportunity to undocumented youth to be part of our community and achieve legal status.
Anna, the Dream Sabbath provides an opportunity for churches and faith communities to do educational things related to the Dream Act between September 16th and October 9th, right?
Yeah, we get the window of opportunity, we could say. September 16th to October 9th. You could pick any day there, and you could do amazing good stuff to bring Dream Act to your congregation or your church.
This really is about creating a window of opportunity for young people and for our country.
Exactly. That's great. Exactly what we're looking for. And I think it's a way that churches could start opening that window. Just being able to talk about it in churches. And there's a toolkit that the Interfaith Immigration Coalition has put together. And you could download it and use it to have ideas about how to incorporate the Dream Act. I just mentioned a couple. You could make it part of the sermon. You could have some in there reading the stories about some undocumented youth. You could actually have a Dream Act student from your community telling the story. And if you don't know anybody in your community that could do that and you're interested, please let us know. There is a way to communicate it in the website. We also ask people to put their events in the website so we could actually know what you guys are doing and we could actually count how many events throughout the country we have.
Okay. Well, we'll include all that information with this edition of Please Note so folk can get it and can contact you as well.
Yes, please. People could contact me. You could have my email, their address, and that's what I'm there for.
Well, Anna, I just have one more question, and it's this. A lot of people, one, may not know that there's an Office of Government Relations of the Episcopal Church on Capitol Hill, and 2, may not know what it does. So what is the Office of Government Relations, and what does it do?
Well, the Office of Government Relations is a small office. There's only 5 of us, but with a very important job. We bring the policies and priorities of the Episcopal Church set by General Convention and Executive Council to the administration and Congress. So we're able to make that connection between the positions and policies and the priorities of the Church with who make policy in our country. So it is a really useful office in relation to what the Episcopal Church is saying and making sure that we're having an impact on public policy at large. So if we care about immigration and poverty, we want to make sure that our elected officials know that the Episcopal Church care about that. And that we're making an impact when they're considering policies that affect communities at large.
Anna, are members of Congress and their staff really interested in what faith communities have to say?
I think they do. And the ones that they don't, we actually try really hard to make them care. Because they should care. Faith communities have a really particular and special voice when it comes to many of these issues. And at the same time, we are part of the constituencies. We are in every community. So I think that we have a really special and particular voice. And sometimes we're able to be the voice for those that don't have a voice. That don't going to have somebody in D.C. being able to bring up their issue up to elected officials. So I think that they should care if they don't, and I think many do. So we work very hard to make sure that we are present and they know about the things that are dear to our heart and priorities for the Church and those policies that we work hard in the convention to come up as the voice of the Church.
Well, Bishop Chip Marble and I are both members of Bishops for a Just World and have worked closely with your office over the years. And the work you all do is important work, witnessing to the love of God and Jesus in this world. And thank you for it.
Thank you so much, and thanks to the diocese for being part of this and joining the Dream Sabbath.
All right. Well, thank you, and God bless.